have our first guest joining us on the show. So let's straight away get the conversation going. Aditya Sood from InCred PMS is with us. Aditya, thank you very much for being with us. Season's greetings to you. And we are in an interesting market, right? A market which has come off a very, very strong year, and now we're getting a bout of volatility. How do you see things? Because the narrative still seems very positive about expected rate cuts, etc. But what do you make of the fact that we are getting these little shakeouts in the market over the past week or so?
So I think so. Bull market corrections are very, very treacherous. All of us should remember that one of the hallmarks of the rally post the state election results has been uh, uh, two things. One is that a lot of people have got this fear of missing out. The second thing is that in certain segments of the market we have started to believe that there is no other alternative, especially in places like sectors like defense, for example. So our belief is that corrections are healthy. Corrections are a part of any bull market. It gives more room in terms of creating a divergence between performance. We have seen a stellar performance of small and mid cap indices, and a lot of us have started to believe that large cap stocks hold more value for the time being. I think so. We should be headed for a consolidation phase wherein this could be a great time for alpha managers to focus on value stock picking. But clearly, there are very limited spaces wherein we see value at this juncture. Hence, I think so. It is logical to expect some sort of a big markets to take a breather for the time being.
Very little pockets of value right now. Aditya, so when fresh money comes your way, where are you investing it?
So we have got a, interesting three-pronged approach at this point in time. We have been value seekers in the market. First thing is that, we believe that this is an error-prone market. So you need to do less in terms of, incremental stock picking in this market. The best stock might be already part of your portfolio. So we have been focusing on sizing on of the themes that are out of flavor or the themes that we like. We really like consumer discretionary as a space at this juncture. The second approach that we have been following is there are certain segments of the market wherein earnings have essentially collapsed over the last 4 to 6 quarters. As a result of that, obviously, these stocks have tanked, and the corrections have been fairly sharp. And what we have seen in IT 6 months back was a excellent example in terms of taking a overweight position on the sector. I think so. This is going to be incrementally a value seeker market. Another thing is that we have clearly communicated to our clients that we'll deploy incremental money slowly in this environment. So possibly for every new money that we take in the PMS, possibly will take some time to deploy that money. The communication has been very, very straightforward. We are again headed into a scenario wherein we should expect some volatility, and we can take 3 or 4 months to deploy that incremental money.
Okay. So let's talk about some of the sectors or themes that you like, Aditya. In autos, I think you're picking out two-wheelers. So let me start there, because that's a very interesting space where there's been, fight right at the top of the pyramid, right? The big bike launches that we saw. The other day, we were in conversation with Mr. Rajiv Bajaj of Bajaj Auto, and he sounded absolutely confident about the business. And he was talking about a run rate of over 4 lakh units, perhaps, on a consistent basis, the monthly run rate. So, are you confident that two-wheelers will keep riding high even in 2024, despite the run-up that we've seen?
So there are two elements to the two-wheeler story. One element obviously has been the disruption from the EV side of it, and we have seen a new entrant which is going to be possibly IPOing, having a lion's share of the electric two-wheeler market. But our belief is that there is significant value in the incumbents, and that includes Bajaj Auto and Hero both. If you look at the two-wheeler industry, in terms of analyzing the volumes, this is one segment of the auto market wherein you would have expected autos to do well. First, Pascals did well, and then it was followed by commercial vehicles. Our belief is that, if rural has to do well, two-wheelers have to do well. So it is more about, what is the market anticipating, or, sort of how finely priced these stocks are. So we see room for a PE multiple expansion in the incumbents. At the same time, what we have also witnessed is that, some profit pools are going to be disrupted. So obviously, the higher price points in the market have been disrupted, and that gets reflected in the performance of Eicher Motor versus Hero Stroke Bajaj. So we are reasonably confident that the incumbent should do well. A part of the thesis is mean reversion and rural recovery.
Got that. I remember in the past you'd spoken about Tejas Networks. That was one of your big bets. Are you still bullish on Tejas Networks, and how would you view the medium-term prospects?
So Tejas continues to be one of the top positions in the portfolios. What we expect is that there are certain segments of Make in India story. First of all, the company is reasonably moated in the sense that it has got 450 patents to its name. I have not stumbled upon a small stroke mid cap company which has such a large technological prowess. The second thing is that obviously it is backed by the Tatas. The third thing is that they have order backlog. When essentially the open offer was made, nobody was anticipating that BSNL could be a 12,000 crore opportunity for the 10 to 12,000 crore opportunity for Tejas. Now the order backlog has gone up by sixfold. What it gives access to Tejas is valuable cash flow to bridge the gap between 4G to 5G. So what we believe is that there are certain segments of the market. This is a true example of Make in India. We are also taking a call here essentially that if I have to buy a concept stock, in the sense that if I have to buy or back Make in India, this could be a stock wherein a small cap can move to a mid cap, and possibly a mid cap can also move to a large cap. So we are reasonably constructive. I think so. This is least understood. At the same time, the stock is under researched. We have only seen one sell side house writing a note on Tejas. So this being a very, very unique industry, telecom equipment, we believe that this is Tejas is obviously uniquely poised.
Okay, all right. We will leave it on that note for today. Aditya, thank you very much for joining in, and once again, wish you all the very best for 2024. Well, with that, we do have to take a very quick break. We'll come back on the other side and put the spotlight on the commodity space. We'll have Manisha Gupta joining in with some highlights.